Hi, I'm Erik Voss, and Venom is now available on digital HD with Blu-ray and DVD coming out December 18th, allowing us to re-watch the comic book hits starring Tom Hardy, Michelle Williams, and Riz Ahmed for all the fun details that we missed the first time around, and dig into it even deeper with a video sponsored by Venom. Nice! One thing that caught my attention is the banter between Eddie Brock and the Venom symbiote that attaches to him.
Jump. Pussy.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun chit-chat about people eating, but there's also a fascinating power dynamic going on between these two entities. It forces you to ask the question, who's really in control of this symbiotic relationship? Is Eddie Brock the one wearing the mask and skin of Venom? Or is it the other way around? It's not that crazy a question. Like if you're an alien looking for a human to wear as a skin suit, Tom Hardy's a pretty good option. What do you call that, a pout? I guess it works. Now you might see Eddie and Venom as a classic I hear voices scenario, a symptom of schizophrenia in which a voice tells someone to think or do things they wouldn't otherwise do or think. What's cool about Venom's digital Blu-ray release is that it comes with over an hour of special features, a special Venom mode, deleted scenes, and behind-the-scenes featurettes. And in one of them, you can actually hear Tom Hardy explain that hearing that voice in his head is not only just like that, but it even pushes Eddie's character to decide what the limits of his own morality are.
Venom holds Eddie's feet to the fire about his own ethical framework, so for the first time, Eddie becomes the reluctant hero.
So we've got a voice trying to heavily influence Eddie's action, and he's having to resist them. But really, this goes even deeper than schizophrenia, right? Like, this voice is actually a physically manifesting entity with its own baggage.
On my planet, I am kind of a loser, like you. But here, we could be more.
Yeah, see, this voice is too fully formed, too motivated, too three-dimensional to just be a voice. It's an entire personality. And there's another illness known as Dissociative Identity Disorder, formerly known as multiple personality disorder. DID is described by the National Alliance on Mental Illness as a disorder that forms when someone is trying to escape reality, often because they experienced a traumatic situation such as abuse. As a result, they shift between separate identities that they form inside themselves to escape that trauma. Each personality may have names, traits, mannerisms, distinctive voices. When the person switches, they experience memory gaps. Now, I should say that this whole subject is debated by mental health experts, one of which I am not. Dissociative identity disorder has been the basis of a number of stories in movies and TV, some more respectful than others. And this movie Venom doesn't make overt references to the disorder. But there are certainly parallels that make Eddie Brock's situation a fantastical portrayal of how DID can afflict people's bodies, their minds, their behaviors, their whole outlook. Look at the moment the two first spoke to each other face to face.
I am Venom, and you are mine.
You bit somebody's head off.
Fuel in the tank. Listen carefully, Eddie. You did not find us. We found you. I know everything, Eddie.
You do?
Everything about you.
Ow.
This reflects the way DID patients describe the feeling of being overtaken by a new identity that originated from inside them. But before we go too far down this rabbit hole of comparing Eddie and Venom's relationship to dissociative identity disorder, let's remember that Venom wasn't born inside Eddie. He was an external alien life form that found and bonded to Eddie. In the Venom digital release and Blu-ray special features, producer Avi Arad described the relationship this way.
What I like a lot is the vulnerability of both. Venom recognizes Eddie's weakness. The moment he's inside him, he will know everything about Eddie, things that Eddie will never talk about.
And remember, split personalities of DID patients actually don't know secrets about the other personalities. Instead, Venom is this outside influence that takes control of a vulnerable person and pushes them beyond their inhibitions. And yeah, really, this relationship sounds a lot more like a different mental illness, addiction. Tom Hardy has said that he actually drew upon his real-life experience with mental health and addiction to play this whole complicated role. Check out the conversation between the two entities later in the film.
I have absolutely no problem with you sticking around, but if we do, we're gonna have some ground rules, all right? You cannot just go around eating anybody that you want to.
Whatever you say. But can we get something to eat now? Otherwise, your liver, it's starting to look really, really good.
So if we look at Venom and Eddie's psychology this way, this whole movie starts to look like an allegory for impulse control and substance abuse. Eddie Brock at the start of the movie is an impulsive journalist who crosses the line. He breaches his fiance's trust by exploiting her as a source. He goes off script in an interview despite being instructed not to by his boss. Already, Eddie is not in control of himself. His impulses lead him to break into the Life Foundation lab where the Venom symbiote attaches itself to him. And Venom Venom, like addictive substances, is a means of escape, a way to numb you from the world and make you feel superhuman. But also like addictive substances, Venom is also a toxin, a force of destruction, both to the outside world and to the host's inner world. The symbiotes in this movie eventually kill their host bodies. They feed on their organs. And remember, in that clip, Venom specifically targets the liver, the organ that is actually most afflicted by alcohol abuse. And like an experienced addict will tell you, that inner voice doesn't ever go away. The impulse will always come back. It's a presence that you have to live with every day, setting boundaries and ground rules so that you don't completely surrender control. So back to that question of who's really in control of this symbiotic relationship? Well, it changes. When Venom first overtakes Eddie, Venom is clearly in control. Venom attacks security guards and the police officers despite Eddie not wanting to do that. He directly tells Eddie that he is Venom's ride, no more than a horse or a bird scooter. But later, the two forces come to terms with each other. Venom accepts Eddie's ground rules, he stays in line, he allows Eddie to move forward with relationships and work in his career. Venom won't ever leave, but Eddie is in control. And these deeper rewatches of Venom are exactly why you should check out the movie on digital HD and Blu-ray. Venom's even better the second time around, and all these special features are fascinating. So big thanks to Sony for sponsoring this video and letting us re-explore the movie like this. Comment down below with what new detail you noticed upon repeat viewings of Venom. Follow New Rockstars on Twitter @NewRockstars and me on Twitter and Instagram @EA Voss, and subscribe to New Rockstars for more deep dives into Venom and Spider-Man, everything you love. All right, see ya, bye. You know what? On second thought, I think I'll just take the elevator instead.
Pussy.
Yeah, I know.